In today's world, technology enables us to do many great things. And one of those many things is allows us to turn your real size coding patterns into a digital pattern, which you can take it with you anywhere, as well as you can share that with your friend and loved one. Of course, it required the right tools and some skill to go with it. In this tutorial, I will walk you through step by step on how to create a perfect A4 template for your design as well as for your real size pattern. Are you ready? Let's do it. So for this tutorial, you require to have an Adobe Illustrator software, and right now I'm here in Adobe Illustrator. To create the template, first I'm going to create artboards. To create the artboard, you can either come over here to create new or come to file and select new. After that, I'm going to print, and as you can see under my recent file, or recent template, I have A4, I have letter size. If you don't see that with your Illustrator, you can click the View All preset. This allows you to see more presets that are already generated in Illustrator. For this example, I'm going to select A4. Okay. Next, I'm going to come over here under Preset Detail, then change the name to A4 PDF Showing Template. Then, under width, I'm going to change from points to inches, and you see right here 8.267, so I'm going to round it to 8.27 and I'm going to type in 7.27. Okay, and left inches there, IN is stand for inches. Then come down here, press down the tab key, and then you type in 10.69. Then come to orientation, you want it portrait, and the artboard I'm going to type in 30. Okay. After that, come to bleed. You want all the bleed value equal to 0, okay? Then color mode, you want CMYK color, and high resolution, you want it 300 ppi. Then preview mode is default. After that, click on more setting. Okay, so under more setting, there are a few things that I want to point out, and it is very important. The spacing, you want all spacing to be 0, okay? Just highlight it and then type in 0, then press on the tab key to confirm. And column, I'm going to type in 5 column, okay? And this is also important. You see right here, grid by row, that's what we want, okay? If it's not grid by row, make sure you click on it to select. And the name is correct, and number of artboards is 30, and the width 7.27 in, height 10.69 in, then bleed, all the value of the bleed equals 0, and CMYK 300 ppi and default. After that, come down here, click create document. Okay, so as you can see, we just create the artboards for your pattern. Next, I'm going to create a scaling square. This scaling square allows you to test your pattern when you first print it out, okay? It is important to have the scaling square on the artboard. So to create the scaling square, first I'm going to come over here under this layer panel and I'm going to change the name here, this layer name, to scaling square. Press enter to confirm. Next, I'm going to this tool panel and select rectangle tool. Click one to select, then come back to the page and then click one to bring this rectangle window. And by default is 1 inch by 1 inch. Again, Illustrator try to help me out because I used it before and I type in 1 inch by 1 inch. If yours doesn't do that, just type in 1 IN and then press down the tab here on your keyboard, type in 1 IN, then press return or enter on your keyboard to confirm. After that, while the square box is still selected, I'm going to fill and then change it to none. Then I'm going to stroke and then change it to black and make sure the stroke point is 1 point. That's what we want. Next, I'm going to black arrow tool, click on it and then come back over here. Just click one on the page you want it to deselect. Okay, now I'm going to adjust it over here a little bit. Next, I'm going to label that square. To label that square, I'm going to the typing tool, click one to select, then come back and click over here one to place the typing, and I'm going to type in 1 X 1 and then IN. After that, I'm going to press escape on my keyboard to get out the typing tool, and I'm going to change the font to 14. Then press return and enter to confirm. After that, I'm going to just click it and then drag over here. And I'm going to align these objects together. To align them, again, my selection tool is active. Marquee select both and then come back and select on this box one more time because you want align object together. Okay, then come over here. You see right here, horizontal align center, click on it. Then right here, vertical align center, click on it. Now the objects are aligned. Next, I'm going to Command or Control letter G to group them together. Okay. After that, I'm going to create another scaling square. This one, 2.5 centimeter by 2.5 centimeter square. Okay. Again, I'm going to this rectangular tool, click on one to select, come back, click one on the page to bring this rectangular window. Then I'm going to type in 2.5 cm. Then I'm going to press down the tab key and then type in 2.5 cm. You can either press return or enter on your keyboard or click on OK to confirm. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to change the fill to none and stroke to 1 point. To do that, I'm going to, you see right here, automatically the square box is selected. So I just go to this right here, fill, change to none, then over here, stroke to black and 1 point. After that, I'm going to this black arrow tool, click on it. Then come back and click one on the page to deselect that square box. Okay. After that, I'm going to label it. Again, to label, go to this typing tool, click on one to select, come back, click one on the page to place the typing. Then I'm going to type in 2.5 x 2.5 cm. Next, I'm going to press down the escape key on my keyboard to get out of the typing tool. And by default, as you can see over here, it's 14 point. So Illustrator kind of leave whatever we use the last time we was have the font 14 point, and this time we don't have to change the font again, it stay 14 points. Okay, next I'm going to align both objects together. To do so, I'm going to this black arrow tool. Again guys, black arrow tool is the essential tool in Adobe Illustrator. Like, you will use it over and over again. It's so cool. So I'm going to marquee select both of the objects. Okay, then click one on the square box because we want to align this text to the box. Okay, and we click that to tell Illustrator that we want to align this text to that box. Then come over here, you want to select horizontal align center, and right here vertical align center. Now the objects align together. Next, I'm going to Command or Control plus letter G to group them together. Now I can move them over here. Perfect. So after creating both of the skull and square, I'm going to leave a note for customer so they know what to do. To do that, I'm going to the typing tool over here and then click one on the page. Now I'm going to leave a note. Be sure to measure the 1 in or 2.5 centimeter before cutting the fabric. Okay, let's just arrange them a little bit, make it a little bit prettier. Oh, all right. Next, I'm going to create the circle for this template. To create a circle for the template, I'm going to come over here to this layer panel and I'm going to create a new layer. To create the new layer, you come down here. You see this create new layer icon. I'm going to press down Option or Alt on your keyboard, then click on it. This allows you to type the name into your layer option window. So say you want step, okay? I'm going to name it circle. So I'm going to create an 1/2-inch circle with gray color and 70% opacity. To do so, I'm going to, again, these tool panels, and instead of select a rectangle tool, I'm going to select ellipse tool. And click one on the page, okay, to bring this ellipse window, and I'm going to type in 0.5 IN, IN is equal to 1/2 inches. Now I'm going to press down the tab key on my keyboard and do the same thing, 0.5 IN, then click on OK to confirm. And by default, again, the circle is selected. I'm going to see right here. Again, right here, change the color to gray instead of black, so you can save ink that way. And then come back over here change opacity to 70. Let's just type it in 70%. Press return to confirm. After that, I want this circle, place it onto the corner of each artboard, okay? Right there. Let's just zoom in a little bit. To zoom in, I'm going to click on the zoom tool and then click and drag. Okay? So as you can see, the guys show right here, this dot appear right onto this corner, and that's what we want, okay? I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to press down Command or Control plus minus key. Next, I'm going to pan it over right there. Okay, so I'm going to make copies, okay? To make the copy, I'm going to select the circle, then press down Option or Alt on your keyboard, and you see these arrows turn into 2 arrows. Now you can click and then drag, and then place it right onto the corner right there, okay? After that, I'm going to Command plus minus sign, and now I can make more copy. I'm going to use the shortcut key, Command or Control plus letter D to create more copies. Okay, after that, I'm going to select all these circles. Let me just pan it over. Then I'm going to select the selection tool, click on the circle, then I'm going to make more copy. Again, press down Option or Alt and then click and drag to make more copy. After that, Command or Control on your keyboard plus letter D. Okay, so I'm going to group all that circle together. To do so, come over here under Layer panel. Make sure to lock the scaling square layer. So when we select the circle, we only select just the circle, okay? So I'm going to Command or Control letter A to select all the circle, and Command or Control plus letter G to group them all together. After that, I'm going to lock that circle layer too. Okay. Next, I'm going to create the border for the template. To create the border, again, come over here to this layer panel, and I'm going to create a new layer. Come to this layer icon, then I'm going to again press down the Option or Alt on your keyboard and then click on the Create New Layer icon. This will bring the layer option window, and I'm going to type in border. Then press return or enter on your keyboard to confirm. After that, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Just use the zoom tool, very convenient. This is awesome, guys. So I'm going to show you this awesome command that saves you a lot of time. Okay, so to create the border for this artboard, I'm going to these tool panels again, guys, and select rectangle tool, and you want to click one on this first page, okay? Click one to bring this rectangular window, and I'm going to type in 7.27 IN, 7.27 IN, then press the tab key, and I'm going to type in 10.69 IN, 10.69 IN, and I'm going to press OK to confirm. Okay. As you can see, right here, this is the border of the artboard. While this border is selected, I'm going to fill and change it to none, and I'm going to stroke and then change it to black, and this time I'm going to change from 1 point to 2 points. Okay, after that, while this border is still selected, I'm going to this, you see, horizontal alignment, click on it, and then vertical alignment, click on it to align to this first artboard. That's what we want. Okay, after that, I'm going to press down Command or Control on your keyboard plus letter X to cut. Okay, then after that, I'm going to edit, and then I want to paste all on artboards. Okay, next I'm going to select all those borders and then group it together. Let me zoom out a little more and then just pan it over. See, since all these layers are locked, I can just Command or Control to select all the border, and then Command or Control plus letter G to group it. Next, I'm going to come over here and lock that layer as well. So after creating the border for the templates, I'm going to number the pages for these templates, okay? To number the pages, I'm going to create another layer. Press down Option or Alt and come down here and click on the new layer icon, and then this bring layer option window. I'm going to type in numbers. Then press return enter on your keyboard to confirm. After that, I'm going to the typing tool, click one to select, then come back to the page, then just type it one again. I want to change the font to 120. See right here, you don't see 120 here, it's only up to 72 point. What you're gonna do, just like select this area and then type in 120. Then press return or enter on your keyboard to confirm. After that, while that text is still selected, I'm going to just type in number 1. Okay? And then again, to get out this typing tool, press escape. Or you just click on this selection tool to get out. And then I want to arrange them. Let me just zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to bring it over here. So you can place anywhere you want, but I'm going to just place like about 1/3 of the page down. And I want to align to this artboard, but I only want to align just the horizontal, okay, not vertical, because the vertical part I want it like 1/3 of the page down, just right there, perfect for me. And I'm going to pan it over a little bit. Next, again, I'm going to the selection tool, click on one to select, and now the text is selected. If it doesn't happen to you guys, just click right here, see right here. The selection tool is selected, come back over here and then click on the text to select. Then I'm going to press down Command or Control plus letter X to cut. After that, I'm going to edit and then paste on all artboards, okay? Now we have all the numbers on all the artboards. After that, I'm going to change those numbers to match the artboard. You see your artboard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 30s, okay? So I'm going to do that. To do that, again, come back to this typing tool, guys. Click on it and then you want to highlight on that text, on that typing area. When I hover the mouse over, you see this highlight blue highlighting pop up. This allows me to just click on it like that. Then I can type in the numbers, okay? Number 2. Then I do the same thing over here. Then type in number 3 and so on. Okay, so after I finish changing all the number to my artboard, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I'm going to change that number to a 70% opacity. To do so, I'm going to Command or Control and then plus letter A to select. Then come over here and click on this opacity, change it to 70. Then press return or enter on your keyboard to confirm. Then again, I'm going to group this number together. To do so, Command or Control letter A to select all this number and Command or Control letter G to group them. So we just finished creating the perfect A4 template for your design. I have more videos on how to place the design onto the template and how to save that design in a PDF sewing template. Please see the links below. Thank you.